Hello guys. Tracy Quartermain's courtroom revenge. Drew and Nina's secret affair exposed. Willow makes shocking decision to leave Port Charles. In a dramatic turn of events during the highly anticipated Corinthos vs. Corinthos custody hearing, Tracy Quartermain delivered the ultimate revenge against Drew Cain by exposing his secret affair with Nina Reeves, leading to devastating consequences for Willow Corinthos, who has now decided to relinquish custody of her children and leave Port Charles behind. Tracy's calculated revenge plot. Tracy Quartermain is not someone who forgets a slight. After being falsely arrested on the nurse's ball red carpet for allegedly drugging Drew with ketamine, Tracy has been plotting her revenge against her nephew. The arrest, which occurred on May 20th, was particularly humiliating as it happened during a high-profile event with Port Charles elite in attendance. "Oh my God, he framed me," Tracy was heard saying after realizing Drew had planted evidence in her car. While in the interrogation room with Max Scorpio, Tracy was informed that a vial of ketamine had been found in her vehicle, evidence that had clearly been planted to frame her. Even her son Ned Quartermain acknowledged that if his mother had truly been responsible, she would never have left such obvious evidence behind. What Drew failed to anticipate was that Tracy had been sitting on explosive information about him for months, information she was now ready to weaponize at the perfect moment. As Jane Elliott's character has demonstrated throughout decades on the show, Tracy is a formidable opponent who knows how to strike when it hurts most. The custody battle reaches its climax. The custody hearing for Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos began on June 3, 2025, with high tensions between Michael Corinthos and Willow. The case was looking increasingly favorable for Michael, whose attorney Diane Miller presented damning evidence suggesting Willow had not been prioritizing her children's well-being. Drew had previously promised Willow she wouldn't lose custody of her children and had been willing to go to extreme lengths to ensure Michael wouldn't win. Their relationship had been a source of controversy in Port Charles, with many viewing Drew as a negative influence on Willow. Drew has been a terrible influence on Willow as of late, on so many levels. Noted spoilers from earlier this year. One particularly questionable move was encouraging Willow to use Michael's medical proxy as a bargaining chip to regain custody after Carly Spencer took the children from her. The bombshell revelation. In a calculated move that silenced the courtroom, Tracy took the stand and revealed that Drew and Nina Reeves had been engaged in a secret affair. This revelation was particularly devastating as Nina is Willow's mother, making the betrayal doubly painful. Tracy has proof of Drew's past affair with Nina Reeves. "It's high time for the worst-kept secret in Port Charles to be revealed," stated recent reports about the storyline. The affair, which had been hinted at for months, was finally brought to light in the most public and damaging way possible. The courtroom erupted in shock as Tracy detailed the affair, explaining how both Drew and Nina had deceived not only Michael and Willow but the entire Quartermain family. Carly Spencer, who was present in the courtroom, appeared surprised by the revelation, suggesting she may have already been aware of the affair. Willow's world collapses. For Willow, this revelation was the final blow in what has been a series of betrayals. Looking visibly shaken and pale, she sat in stunned silence as the two people she had trusted most, her mother and her partner, were exposed as having betrayed her in the most intimate way possible. The realization that she could not salvage her relationships with either her mother or Drew, combined with her loss of custody, left her with no viable reason to remain in Port Charles, described one account of Willow's emotional state. The discovery that Nina had been complicit in deceiving her while simultaneously claiming to care about her destroyed any possibility of rebuilding their mother-daughter relationship. Faced with the complete destruction of her support system and the overwhelming evidence against her in the custody case, Willow made a decision that shocked everyone present. In a tearful statement to the court, she announced her intention to relinquish custody of Wiley and Amelia to Michael, acknowledging that the toxic environment surrounding her was not in their best interest. The aftermath and departure. Following the explosive custody hearing, sources close to the situation report that Willow has begun making preparations to leave Port Charles entirely. Having lost her children, discovered her partner's betrayal with her own mother, and faced public humiliation, she sees no path forward in the town that has brought her so much pain. Willow's storyline represents one of the most complete character destructions in recent ABC General Hospital history, demonstrating how personal betrayals and legal failures can combine to destroy someone's entire life foundation, noted one analysis of the unfolding drama. Michael, while vindicated in the custody battle, has shown no pleasure in Willow's downfall. His primary concern remains the well-being of Wiley and Amelia, who will now grow up knowing their mother chose to leave rather than continue fighting for a relationship with them. What this means for Port Charles. Tracy's revenge has sent ripples throughout Port Charles, affecting multiple relationships and power dynamics. Drew faces not only the collapse of his relationship with Willow but potentially serious professional consequences as his manipulation and deception come to light. His position within Elk Corporation and his wider standing in the community have been severely damaged. Nina, already a controversial figure in town, now faces even greater isolation as her affair with her daughter's partner becomes public knowledge. Her attempts to position herself as supportive of Willow have been exposed as deeply hypocritical. As for Tracy, while she has achieved her revenge against Drew, the fallout may affect the entire Quartermain family. However, as one longtime observer of the family noted, Tracy doesn't act immediately. She takes her time to observe, gather information, listen to discreet sources, and find ways to confirm the truth before making a move. She doesn't let emotions cloud her judgment. Instead, she strategizes like a seasoned chess player, every move calculated. With Willow planning her departure and the custody battle resolved in Michael's favor, Port Charles braces for the next chapter in this ongoing saga of betrayal, revenge, and family loyalty tested to its limits. Next, we will dive deep into the thrilling developments teased in the latest preview video for the week of June 2nd through June 6, 2025. This week promises a whirlwind of emotions, shocking revelations, and heart-stopping drama in Port Charles. From a courtroom battle that could redefine family ties to unexpected medical emergencies and jaw-dropping betrayals, there's no shortage of intrigue. So, grab a seat and let's unpack the explosive events that await in the beloved ABC soap opera as we explore the custody war, dramatic labor pains, and a betrayal that could shatter relationships forever. Custody clash, Willow and Michael's heart-wrenching battle. The central storyline of this week's episodes revolves around a fiercely contested custody trial between Willow Tate Corinthos and Michael Corinthos. As the courtroom doors swing open, tension fills the air thicker than a summer storm. The bailiff's commanding voice echoes, instructing everyone to rise as the judge enters, while Willow and Michael exchange a fleeting, loaded glance from opposite sides of the room. It's a look that speaks volumes of unresolved pain, lingering love, and a shared desperation to protect their children. This isn't just a legal proceeding, it's a battle for the very foundation of their family. Behind the scenes, whispers circulate through Port Charles about the mounting pressure both parents face. Willow, grappling with her health struggles, fears losing the chance to raise her children, while Michael, driven by a protective instinct, refuses to back down. Their history, fraught with miscommunications and heartbreak, only adds layers of complexity to an already volatile situation. Trial of the Summer, a saga of secrets and surprises. Billed as the trial of the summer, this custody hearing is set to be anything but a swift resolution. Sources close to the production hint that the courtroom will become a battleground for weeks, with unexpected twists lurking around every corner. Each day of testimony promises to unearth long-buried secrets, as allies and adversaries alike take the stand to sway the judge's decision. Among the key witnesses are Tracy Quartermain, whose sharp tongue and no-nonsense demeanor are expected to deliver scathing critiques of Willow's past decisions, painting her as an unstable figure in the children's lives. Jocelyn Jacks, too, will step forward, her testimony laced with emotion as she unleashes a torrent of accusations that could tip the scales against Willow. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase's appearance on the stand adds an intriguing dynamic. Will his loyalty to Michael hold, or will his inherent sense of fairness lead to a surprising defense of Willow? With every witness grilled under intense scrutiny, this high-profile case grips Port Charles, leaving residents and viewers alike on the edge of their seats. The stakes couldn't be higher, as both Michael and Willow yearn to shield their children from the chaos, even as their own choices have spiraled into this messy ordeal. What will the judge ultimately decide when faced with such conflicting narratives? A shocking turn, Sasha's labor pains in the courtroom. As if the custody drama wasn't intense enough, the weekly preview video drops a bombshell. Sasha Gilmore Corbin goes into labor at the most inopportune moment, while testifying on the stand. The image of Sasha, clutching her abdomen in agony amidst the sterile formality of the courtroom, is nothing short of harrowing. One can't help but question the judge's decision to press forward with proceedings as Sasha's contractions intensify. Why hasn't an ambulance been called immediately? Speculation runs rampant that this dramatic turn might be orchestrated by Rick Lansing, the cunning attorney known for exploiting every opportunity to gain the upper hand. Could he be using Sasha's vulnerable state to pressure a confession, perhaps from her or even Michael himself? In a heart-pounding moment captured in the teaser, Michael leaps from his seat, racing to Sasha's side in the witness box as she gasps, her face contorted with pain, declaring, "This baby is coming now." The urgency of the situation sends ripples through the courtroom, with gasps and murmurs erupting from the gallery. Beyond the immediate drama, there's a deeper concern if Sasha's newborn shares the same congenital heart condition as Michael. A revelation at the hospital could unravel hidden truths about parentage and loyalty, forever altering the dynamics of this already fractured family. Betrayal uncovered, Carly exposes Nina's dark deed. While the custody trial and Sasha's medical emergency dominate the headlines, another seismic event shakes the foundation of trust in Port Charles. Carly Spencer, never one to shy away from confrontation, drops a devastating bombshell in court. Reveals to Drew Kane that Nina Reeves is the mastermind behind his drugging. The preview clip captures the raw shock on Nina's face, her mouth falling open as Carly's accusation reverberates through the room, exposing her treachery to Drew and the stunned onlookers. Though Carly lacks knowledge of Jacinda, the mysterious figure potentially tied to the scheme, her certainty about Nina's involvement is unwavering. The betrayal cuts deep, especially for Drew, who had begun to rebuild a fragile trust with Nina. Whispers in Port Charles suggest that this public unmasking might be just the beginning. Could Portia Robinson be the next to face exposure for her own hidden actions? The ramifications for Portia's medical career hang in the balance, as rumors swirl about potential malpractice or ethical breaches tied to the drugging scandal. If proven, such allegations could strip her of her professional standing, leaving her to navigate a fall from grace in a town quick to judge. How will Nina and Portia weather this storm? And what does Carly's revelation mean for the intricate web of alliances in Port Charles? The ripple effects. What lies ahead for Port Charles? As the week of June 2nd through June 6, 2025, unfolds, the events teased in the preview video are poised to leave lasting scars on the residents of Port Charles. The custody trial between Willow and Michael isn't just a legal skirmish, it's a deeply personal reckoning that forces both to confront their past mistakes and future hopes. Sasha's untimely labor adds a layer of unpredictability, raising questions about timing, truth, and the health of her unborn child. Meanwhile, Carly's exposure of Nina's betrayal threatens to ignite a firestorm of retribution, with Portia potentially caught in the crosshairs. Each storyline intertwines, weaving a tapestry of drama that keeps fans glued to their screens. Beyond the immediate shocks, there's a sense that these events are merely the opening act of a larger ceremony where loyalties will be tested, secrets will unravel, and the very definition of family will be challenged. Will Michael and Willow find a path to reconciliation, or will the courtroom tear them apart for good? Can Sasha and her baby emerge from this crisis unscathed? And how will Nina navigate the fallout of her exposed deception? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Port Charles is in for a summer of unforgettable turmoil. Next, we will uncover the electrifying twists and turns set to unfold in Port Charles during the week of June 2nd through June 6, 2025. This week's episodes promise an emotional roller coaster, with high-stakes courtroom drama, shocking betrayals, and unexpected alliances taking center stage. From a fiercely contested custody battle to stunning revelations about a sinister plot, the residents of Port Charles are in for a turbulent ride. Join us as we delve into the heart of the Corinthos family's struggles, Carly Spencer's relentless fight for her loved ones, and a testimony that could change everything. Buckle up, because the latest ABC General Hospital previews hint at a week full of jaw-dropping moments that will keep fans buzzing for days. Carly's fierce protection, a mother and grandmother's resolve. Carly Spencer has always been a force to be reckoned with when it comes to safeguarding her family, and this week is no exception. As a devoted mother, her heart aches at the thought of her children facing hardship. But now, with the added role of grandmother, the stakes have never been higher. Her protective instincts are in overdrive, pushing her to pull every string and explore every avenue to ensure her grandchildren's future is secure. In the midst of the custody battle tearing through the Corinthos family, Carly's focus is laser-sharp. She'll stop at nothing to see that Michael, her son, and his children are on solid ground. Rumors around Port Charles suggest Carly has been meeting with close confidants late into the night, strategizing ways to tip the scales in Michael's favor. Her determination is palpable as she navigates the delicate balance of supporting her son while ensuring her grandchildren grow up in a stable, loving environment. But with emotions running high, will Carly's fierce loyalty lead her to cross lines that could have unforeseen consequences for everyone involved? The custody war, Michael and Willow's emotional showdown. At the core of this week's drama is the gut-wrenching custody battle between Michael Corinthos and Willow Tate Corinthos, a clash that's tearing their family apart. The courtroom becomes a battlefield where every word and glance carries the weight of their fractured past. As the trial unfolds, Carly watches from the sidelines with bated breath, knowing that the outcome will shape the lives of her grandchildren. Michael, portrayed with fresh intensity by newcomer Rory Gibson in his debut as the recast character, stands firm in his resolve to secure custody, believing it's the best path for his children. Willow, on the other hand, fights with equal passion, her eyes reflecting both desperation and a quiet strength as she pleads her case. The tension in Port Charles is thick, with townsfolk gossiping at Kelly's diner about who might have the upper hand. Neither parent wanted their personal struggles to spill into such a public arena, but with their children's futures hanging in the balance, compromise seems like a distant dream. Will the judge see through the pain to make a ruling that truly serves the children, or will hidden truths unearthed in court complicate the verdict even further? Curtis' role, a friend in need or reluctant to lie. Carly's desperation to protect her family leads her to lean on Curtis Ashford, hoping he can deliver a game-changing advantage in the custody fight. Initially, Carly had approached Curtis with a controversial request to pen a damaging smear piece against Drew Cain, a move she believed would bolster Michael's position. Despite his deep loyalty to Michael, Curtis balked at the idea, and willing to compromise his own principles, as recent ABC General Hospital recaps remind us. However, with the trial intensifying and Carly's pleas growing more urgent, speculation swirls that Curtis might find an alternative way to come through for her. Word on the street is that Curtis has been digging into old connections, chasing leads that could unearth critical information to sway the court. Some whisper he's been seen late at night at the docks, meeting with shadowy figures who might hold the key to a breakthrough. Will Curtis risk his own reputation to help Carly and Michael, or will his moral compass steer him away from the murky waters of deception? His next move could be the linchpin in this already volatile situation. Courtroom confessions, revelations that shake Port Charles. This week's episodes of ABC General Hospital are set to deliver shocking revelations that will reverberate through the courtroom and beyond. The preview teases a moment of pure drama as Carly takes center stage, exposing Nina Reeves to Drew Cain in a public bombshell. With unwavering conviction, Carly declares that Nina was the mastermind behind Drew's drugging, a sinister act that left him vulnerable and betrayed. The gallery erupts in murmurs as Nina's carefully constructed facade crumbles under the weight of the accusation. But the drama doesn't end there. Rumors circulating among GH fans suggest that the fallout from Nina's actions could ripple into the custody ruling itself. Could this exposure taint Nina's relationship with Willow further, driving an even deeper wedge between them? As if that weren't enough, the previews hint at more confessions on the horizon, with each testimony peeling back layers of deceit that have long festered in Port Charles. The town's residents brace themselves, knowing that once these secrets are out, nothing will be the same. Jacinda's testimony, the nail in Nina's coffin. Perhaps the most explosive twist teased in the latest GH previews is the involvement of Jacinda, a mysterious figure allegedly tied to Nina's plot to drug Drew Cain. According to whispers making rounds in Port Charles, Curtis pulls off a stunning coup for Carly by tracking down Jacinda and convincing her to take the stand. When Jacinda testifies against Nina, the courtroom falls silent, hanging on her every word as she lays bare the details of Nina's scheme. Insiders suggest that Jacinda's account is chillingly precise, recounting late-night meetings and hushed agreements that paint Nina as the orchestrator of a calculated betrayal. This testimony could be the decisive blow not just in the custody battle, where Nina's credibility might influence the judge's perception of Willow's circle, but also in Nina's personal relationships. At the local coffee shop, patrons speculate over whether Willow will ever forgive Nina if Jacinda's words prove true. And what of Drew, who must grapple with the pain of trusting someone who orchestrated such harm? Jacinda's appearance in court might just be the final nail in the coffin for Nina's standing in Port Charles, leaving her to face a reckoning she never saw coming. A week of unforgettable drama. What's next for Port Charles? As the week of June 2nd through June 6, 2025, unfolds on ABC General Hospital, the intertwining stories of custody, betrayal, and redemption promise to keep viewers glued to their screens. Carly's unyielding fight for her family showcases the depths of a mother and grandmother's love, while Michael and Willow's courtroom clash lays bare the raw pain of a broken bond. Curtis' potential involvement adds a layer of suspense, as fans wonder if he'll find a way to support Carly without losing himself in the process. Meanwhile, Carly's explosive revelation about Nina, coupled with Jacinda's damning testimony, threatens to upend lives and relationships in ways no one could predict. Beyond the immediate drama, there's a sense that these events are setting the stage for even greater conflicts down the road. Will Michael secure custody, or will Willow's plea sway the judge? Can Nina salvage any trust after such public exposure, or is her isolation inevitable? And how will Drew move forward after learning the bitter truth? The answers remain just out of reach, but one thing is certain: Port Charles is a powder keg of emotions waiting to ignite. In wrapping up, this week's General Hospital episodes are poised to be a masterclass in soap opera storytelling, brimming with heart-wrenching decisions and shocking twists. From the intense custody trial to the unraveling of Nina's dark secret, every scene is crafted to captivate. So, don't miss a moment of the action on ABC General Hospital, and be sure to tune in for all the drama. What do you think about these stunning developments? Share your predictions and reactions in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.